other than whether we should discuss it, which is what we discussed last time. It was a discussion about a discussion, a meta discussion. It is cart before horse. Okay, Fred?
That's why my turn. It's uncommon
Well,
for me, but
yeah,
I kind of disagree because we have discussed it many times this year and last year. And at the end of each discussion, where we were stymied was, we weren't real sure what that should look like or how that should go forward. And I think it's timely to go into this report because the current goals end in 2015.
In
And-
2015.
Correct. And the time to.
January 1st, 2015, December.
we've had
The
that.
time, we've had that discussion
I
for
know,
minutia.
I know.
The time to make the recommendation that the legislature look at the goals is at the time that they will be ending. And we have discussed it in we've had many discussions that were kind of wrapped around other topics, like when we were discussing libraries, we talked about speed, we talked about speed of the current goals and that they weren't actually adequate, but that the libraries didn't have them. We've had kind of danced around the direct discussion of what the goals should be, so that the actual discussion we've never had is what the goals should be changed to. But we have had the discussion of the goals need reevaluated for at least as long as I've been on the board.
Which I'm very sorry to say is why I thought we were doing that in 2015 as part of our work ahead. Not putting it into the 2014 report, surely.
Can I add that? Because, okay, here's the issue I would have with putting this statement in. It is the task force that advises the legislature. So if we're advising them, I mean, we would advise them. To me, we would advise them on what the goals should be. And I thought we were gonna do that in 2015 as well. So when we say reevaluate, I don't know, I mean, I think
We should
that was
say
our work to
something more.
advise them on what it should be, but
Hold on. I had Andy up, but maybe he passed. Was that, okay.
Just being the devil's advocate on this whole discussion is that the FCC just changed their goals from 4.1 to 10.1, which are still lower than what the state of Minnesota is. So we're still leading as far as the federal government is concerned. So a person could make an argument that there's no need to even reevaluate our goals because we still exceed the federal level. Now, I know some people have other views on that, and that's why we need a whole discussion on it rather than throw it, into I mean, our goals right now meet and exceed the federal goals. So we're having, you could make the argument that the federal goals should supersede the state goal, and that sort of thing. But
Okay, Paul?
I was gonna pick up Dick's comments exactly that. I almost feel like putting a evaluation of the speed goals is almost premature in what the FCC is proposing. I'd like to, as part of our program of work for next year, what are other states doing?
Right.
We heard what Nebraska. We're throwing artificial numbers out there. I mean, who's gonna make that determination? But based on research and study, we would then have some foundation to make an appropriate number that would have some justification based on our research in the coming year.
I think the governor made that choice of what that number was when they said in
What?
statute where we wanted to fall in ranking with other countries. If you look at where we fall in ranking with other
The thing-
countries.
That's the problem.
No, okay, that isn't what happened, but it was the task force, the previous task force that made that recommendation that the legislature, previous to us, the legislature made the recommendation. It actually was a negotiation with the governor's office.
Well, I'm sure, I'm just saying when they made it, it's part of the statute, they were setting where we wanted to be.
Yeah, but I looked at it, it was the task force or that body, so prior to this, they made the recommendations on what the speed should be. It wasn't legislators just picking a number randomly.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Margaret, if the legislature were going to review this, you would be asked to testify. What would you say?
I would, if I were called up in front of a committee today on this issue or in January, I would say, this is intended to be part of the task force's work plan for 2015 to look at what's happening across the country on this issue, and then make a recommendation to you in 2015.
If it makes
I
the state much more
understand why you
competitive.
want this.
Yeah,
But you can tell that the reason that we have had, and I know there's been disagreements on the task force, but the reason it's worked is because things have gone through iterative processes of discussion. If you're putting this on the table for discussion and for the work group, or for the task force for 2015, great, I fully accept it. I cannot support the recommendation that this is part of our recommendations for 2014 when we have not done our homework. Some of you feel like you've done your homework, I get that. Others of us have not done our homework. And that's where I'm sort of sitting here as chair like, well, what do we do with this one? And the next one that comes. Would you like to take a vote today? That's what I'm gonna wonder, and you'll have to excuse himself, he's not officially a member of the task force. But
I'll be on the meeting.
so. I totally support this being part of our work for 2015. We have to look at this, because we do have expiration of the current goals in statute